Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. I'm posting from uh, South Carolina, and I want to talk about silver today. You know, a lot of you guys out there are wondering how much silver do we need to have? Well, I would say as much as you can get because it's going to go way up, guys, and not too long in the future. The thing about it is you're also wondering when should I sell my silver and how high do you think it's going to go? I can only give you an estimation of what I think it's going to go to. Uh, I think there's a possibility it could go as high as $600 an ounce, but that would be like top end, and that would be caused by an actual shortage of silver, which wouldn't last very long. And I'll tell you the reason why. There's an awful lot of silver sitting on the sidelines. People have invested in silver all around the earth as a means to hedge against the inflation. If we get a silver shortage and the price spikes upwards to, well, let's say 600, but maybe it won't go that high. It might only go to triple digits, somewhere in the triple digits. It's not going to last very long. In fact, it's going to be very much like the last time we had a spike in the price of silver. If you remember, silver went up to almost $50. But there was a big difference back then. The difference was the value of our money. And also the effect would not be as great as it would be this time. The effect of having an actual shortage. Now, they did have somewhat of a silver shortage, but we've been actually experiencing a shortage in silver for months now, going back to the Wall Street gang. And you know that the premiums went up, and it was hard to obtain. Some of the mints actually ran out of coins, and we're seeing that still. So we're actually having an ongoing shortage right now, but it's not a complete shortage where they're out of the 1,000 ounce silver bars that they use for making everything out there. Some of you are wondering, well, why? Why would we have a silver shortage in the first place? And I'll tell you, silver does not come from the tooth fairy, guys. It comes from mines. And we've just went through this COVID crisis, and we're seeing energy prices skyrocketing. And the miners out there are having to put up with the COVID crisis as well, and they're having to go through all of the, I can imagine there's a labor shortages they would be going through, like an awful lot of other businesses. Some people walking off the job don't have the proper, just the production of silver is going to drop during the COVID crisis. So the world demand for silver is increasing, especially in the retail supply and on the retail side. It's going to increase exponentially in the next little while, especially people wanting to try to hedge against this massive amount of inflation we have coming in. Think about, too, the fact that there's X amount of silver in the ground around the world. Silver is not a renewable resource, and back in the 1800s and 1700s they used to dig it out of the ground with picks and shovels. Now they dig it out of the ground with giant machines that can move tons of earth so much faster, and they've went through over the globe looking for silver deposits, new deposits, and a few new deposits have been found, but for the most part the actual ore that's in the ground, that they take silver from the ore, they've mined through the best stuff now already. And the ore deposits have been dropping in the amount of silver that they get per ton. A ton is like 2,200 pounds. It's a metric ton. I think it was up as high as 17 ounces of silver per ton, and now it's dropped down, I think, below 10. Now, don't quote me on those numbers, but and energy costs went extremely amount higher. Now at the same time, back when we had silver go to $50 an ounce, what would your dollar purchase? Far more than it does now. Wouldn't be, it would probably be at least double. And so that $50 an ounce price back when it went to $50, you have to realize too that that didn't last very long. It spiked upwards to that price and then it fell off. Why did it fall off? It fell off because the people out there had the silver that's sitting on the sidelines start to sell back into the market. And we're going to see exactly the same thing happen again, but we're probably going to see a higher price point before the silver market starts to be replenished again. And the second thing that replenishes it is when the price goes really high like that, the mining production becomes much more viable. The miners can make a lot more money. They'll open up new sections of the mine. Maybe they'll buy new equipment. They might hire new people on. If you want to pay people enough to work, you will find good new employees. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people are walking off the job, is these are crappy jobs. They're looking for better jobs. They're looking for jobs that pay more money. And it works the same way with the mines. If miners can't afford to hire people at to pay people the wages that they're worth, then they're not going to have employees as many as they would if they're offering a higher price for their hourly wages. And so you'd see an increase in the mining production, but there would be a little bit of a lag there between the price of silver shooting up and the miners ramping up production. One of the things that would affect that lag is the fact that a lot of the mines that produce silver is a byproduct of lead, zinc, tin, aluminum, not so much aluminum, but copper. These mines also drag silver out of the ground. And so if the world is going through a period of less construction things, they're not going to use as much copper. They're not using as much copper. They're not going to mine as much silver. So we're probably going to see the price shoot up quite high very quickly. Hitting that top is going to be extremely hard because it's not, like I say, it's not going to last very long. Picture yourself, if you are a holder of silver out there and the price were to shoot up to say $250, you're going to be gathering your stash of silver and you're going to be running into your local coin dealer to sell it. As that pours back into the market, it's going to affect it, and the market is going to start to drop in price. And we're not talking about small amounts. So hitting that peak might be very, very difficult when silver's on its way up. And once it does hit that peak, it's probably going to fall back down again. And it's probably then going to stop falling and start to go back up again, but not as high as the original peak. This is what I'm expecting. So say if we get a peak of $600 an ounce. It's probably going to fall back down to $450 after. And it's not going to take it a real long time, probably within the same week of it reaching $600. It's going to be very hard to hit the peak of $600. So where do you want to sell? You would want to hit that bounce before it drops back down again lower. Because it could go back down to 200, 150 even. It might even break back down to under $100, maybe 95. But it'll never go back down to the pre-peak levels when it goes up to $600. It would never break back down to like $25 again. You'd never see $25 again, ever. And this is what we've seen going way back in history with not just silver but other commodities. We'll see them set new price points and then we'll see them fall back down again, but they never go back to their pre-peak of price. They never go back to that pre-level of before the... And we're getting ready right now in precious metals. We are getting ready for a massive increase in price. It's on us now. I know we've been waiting for years, for this to happen. But now it's almost here. And it's going to be spectacular when it actually does happen. Thank you guys for listening to my show. And remember, you need to keep your silver. Don't keep your silver with a storage company, because when a crisis happens, if we do get a crisis situation of some kind or another, you want to have your silver in your own possession, and you want to have it put someplace safe. You know. Thank you guys for listening to my show. Like and subscribe. We'll catch you guys in the very next episode. And yes, I'm having fun on vacation. I'm having a great time. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.